Well, thank you for trying to load it. I don't know where you are. You're like in the little corner somehow. Oh, there you go.
There
I
we
was like, where's my co host? I don't want that little square in the bottom. I want you here. Welcome, everybody. It is my favorite day of the week, Meatless Monday Live. Thank
go.
you,
Awesome.
everyone, for
Woo!
joining. It's so nice to be here to be able to talk about our plant based journey. And I know that everyone who's listening either is new on the journey where you're just getting started out and you want more information, or you might be like, someone like me who's been plant based for a short time. Like, well, I've been 4 years, so it's not really short, but it feels short because it just feels like I did this just yesterday. But I've experienced so many health benefits. You might be early in your journey and starting to experience health benefits. So there's so many things I've learned, but I thought it might be good. First, I want to welcome everyone watching. Buddha 1000, our biggest fan. I saw you in the comments earlier, but we were a little bit delayed getting started. So thank you for
Hey,
being here.
Buddha.
She is our moderator and like super fan. I want to thank my beautiful, lovely co host, Dawn James, here, who produces the stream. She puts up the links and everything for us. So thank you.
You're
And I want to
welcome.
thank everybody who's listening in on live or on the replay and just may not have commented yet. And the other thing I wanted to say is I think that was all. I guess we'll get started. I
I
think
got
I
my
was going
trusty
somewhere
grapes.
with it. Um, but the reason that I started this channel, and at least you're eating those lovely vegan grapes,
They are so good.
they are
This
so
batch was
healthy
good.
for us too. We might have to do a live stream on just
Yeah.
fruit. But yeah, remember I've been eating my fruits during the day. All day I eat like watermelon, pineapple, fruit. I used to not eat anything throughout the day, but I've gotten into like maybe around like 3 o'clock, 4 o'clock, sometimes 6 o'clock. I eat a bunch of fruit, and then at night I eat my green vegetables and like a big salad, green vegetables, raw and cooked, a really cool mixture that I'll have to go over one day with you. I put a bunch of stuff together that's like a super charged meal that's going to help your circulation, lower your blood pressure, reduce inflammation. And then I do a rice. I've been having rice. I know sometimes I don't, but I've been on a rice kick. At least I'm off the potatoes right now. Um, but I never, this is actually leading us right into this. I had so many health benefits that I experienced. And I mean, it was fast. Like, we saw a documentary called Raw, and we decided, you know what, let's try this. This sounds interesting.
So let me
Woody.
ask you, what inspired the title? You said six surprising things that happened to you when you went plant based. What are
I know I'm getting to those, but I wanted to
they?
say,
I'm
first of
excited.
all, I had no idea that they would happen also so quickly. Like I thought people that had these, like I watched the documentary Raw, and I heard people reversing like cancer, and these athletes were performing better than ever. Even Woody Harrelson, the guy from Cheers, was on there, which reeled me in because I was like, oh, I used to watch that show. That's that guy. Oh, he looks a little bit older now. And he was like, I have more energy than ever, got rid of all his seasonal allergies. He used to deal with a lot of mucus and things. And when I heard these people saying this, I'm like, okay, there must be something to this plant thing and the raw food. So I've been always looking to lose weight, looking for a diet. I was starting to feel like I had like a little bit of high blood pressure, I'm sure. I was like, so I wasn't eating the healthiest, so I decided to do this. We decided to just start. I was going to do it 3 days, I think, or 6 days, or no, like, a month. No, started out 3 days.
You were just
Then,
gonna do like a couple of days of it, and then it
yeah,
turned into a full week.
a week. That's
Next
right.
thing you know, you were into 2 weeks of it.
I was starting to feel like after the first week, I literally like felt like a different person. And I've heard other people say this too. Like my energy level was so high. that I never even felt this like without coffee and stuff. And then I just started to like feel this overall like, you know what, I think I can do this a little bit longer. I'm going to keep going. Plus I was getting into like listening to YouTubes about the health benefits of celery and the health benefits of carrots, and I would just stand there and like chop all the raw foods up
Wow,
and
listening
make
to
this huge salad. Like I think we have a picture of it somewhere, but you've probably seen that on a lot of my videos if you watch the ones on the replays. And I've got this picture where I'm holding a salad. Literally, it's this high off the plate. The sprouts are on top. It's kind of like taller than me. It's kind of funny, but and I would fill up on that. I'd eat a couple of all of the vegetables, and then like over time, more vegetables started adding on. The more I'd hear these health benefits, I'm like, oh, I didn't know like celery increases your circulation. We got to have that in there. So anyway, after 30 days, it was summertime. Well, let's start with the first one I have is weight loss. Now that's not like necessarily surprising, but what is surprising about it is that I literally have kept it off for 4 years. So I lost 50 pounds within about 6 months, which it was coming down steadily.
I just started thinking about Kenny.
Oh yeah, my stepdad. Like, and I was just talking with this to a lady at work that I met today, Rashida. I was helping her on a case, and she like said that the same thing happened. Her family was like, "You need to eat something. This is you. You look. Are you sick?" And
Yeah,
like everybody thought something was wrong with me because I like came down in weight, and I'm like, no, like literally, I am super healthy. I've been listening to all these videos. I hear all these plant based doctors saying this is the way we're supposed to eat. People are reversing diseases. And I realized that the world has become so overweight that we look silly when we look like something's wrong with us when we're healthy and we lose weight. Like it's a
yeah,
shame, but that's always attached to sickness because in all actuality, the body when it's trying to heal itself is stopping eating. So that's comes into your thing that that's why I fast a lot of
fasting.
times. So I first of all lost all this weight, so I was feeling so good. I even lost more than I wanted to, which never happened in my life because I've always thought, oh, I like this little diet I'm doing, but it was always such weird stuff. I got to count and have I got to have the thing of broccoli that's the size of a little silver dollar, and I got to have like the meat can only be this portion of your plate, and you're starving after it, right? So with this one, I could eat as much as I want. So after about 6 months, I did incorporate cooked food back into it, but I still kept it like big raw salad, and then I ate like rice and beans, and there's just so much stuff you can eat and combinations. You'll be really surprised. I even posted that on the Veganowledge page. Like, I mean, there's tons of food that you open up your taste buds to, different fruits, different vegetables. Like I'm like Brussels sprouts, and like rice and corn and potatoes. You can eat as much as you want as long as it's whole food, plant based, because if you're trying to do this for health benefits, I mean, they have other foods you can eat, like, but they have a sodium in them, they have fake burgers and stuff, but the best way to eat is the actual whole foods. And that's what I did. And that's how I feel the most energy. I feel the healthiest. Um, and so after 4 years now, just April was 4 years, I've kept off 50 pounds, so and that's just eating throughout the day. I eat like lots of extra, fruits. Sometimes I don't eat all day. And then I have like this window of time where I eat at night, and I eat something like I eat a lot. I mean, it looks like I'm like at my own little smorgasbord. Is that what they call those things? Dawn will tell you.
Yep.
And I stayed this weight. So it's like one of the best diets I've ever had. Just if you go purely off of a diet, and it's a healthy way to lose weight because you're not doing one of these fad diets where I'm putting butter in my coffee, which is clogging the arteries. I mean, I've learned so much about what fat does. Like when you eat animal fat and dairy, there's a video on the page. If you check it out, it's about reversing type 2 diabetes. And it's actually the fat from meat and dairy, the little particles of fat that are getting caught in your muscle and liver cells and causing the insulin not to be able to let the natural sugars get in, or sugar from anything you're eating. So that's another whole nother
Yeah.
story, but it really is the healthiest thing you can do. So then the second thing that happened, I know the excitement continues, was
Tell
that
us.
year. It was coming up on, well, it was April when I started. So
Mm-hmm.
May start, I've been about 30 days at this. I started about the beginning of April. Mid-May, early June, I started thinking, wait, I have not had one itchy, watery eye. I used to get a terrible cold when it came into that particular season, whatever was in the air in May. Watery eyes, bad cold, usually to start off allergy season, and then anytime the wind was blowing a little bit or the
Got that
pollen
pollen
count,
blowing around.
I just always woke up with like stuffy nose, and then that happened in September usually too, when like hay fever would come around. So all of a sudden that year, I'm like, wait, I'm feeling clear. Like I don't have these allergies anymore. And I mean, like since a little kid, 6 years old, I would have these, you know. And I remember sitting in school. I've said this before, with a little bottle of Dimetap, like I was like
You
taking a
know
swig.
something too? That's powerful what you're talking about there, because if you, I remember there would be times, I remember you going through Robitussin. Remember the Robitussin era?
Yes.
And you were, doing a lot of coughing and you know just going through it, and you started buying Robitussin. And I remember going through bottles and bottles and bottles upon bottles of Robitussin. And once you got into eating plant-based, slowly but surely that tapered off and then disappeared altogether. There was no need for it.
Now I
How about
won't
the
touch
fact
medication. I'm
well,
like,
how
now
about
I'm
the
such a
fact that
health nut.
Whole Foods did way better for your body than medicine,
And here's the
which is
thing,
our point.
medicine manages it. Like, yeah, if I was already sick and I'm having congestion, because then I started getting these weird bronchial things
Yeah,
when I was in like maybe late 30s. This is like I started this at 42, and like those winters were terrible. I would get a cough, and I mean I would walk up the steps and I got winded. And I remember getting scared, so I started just drinking the Robitussin. Like
I
as soon
remember
as I would
that
start to
day.
feel something, I'm like, I'm going to keep it clear, you know? So it was just such a weird thing about being dependent. And I heard a doctor talking today on a video I was watching, because I'm always like, why does this happen? So apparently the dairy and everything creates a lot of inflammation, a lot of mucus in the meat, since our body, literally, I'm doing a video now why it's not designed to eat it. But they said that the pollen could be a trigger, because you're already experiencing all this mucus, but it doesn't necessarily mean that's what causes it. And that makes sense, because there's a ton of people, she was saying half her patients that come in, there's surprising side effects. Like they come in because she might be trying to get them to eliminate their type 2 diabetes with a diet, but they end up coming back and saying, whoa, guess what? I actually don't have acne anymore that I've had for 15 years. And
All
I
sorts
have,
of positive
my
byproducts from
joints
that.
don't hurt anymore, and I feel really, energetic, and I don't have any problems with this and this. So they come for one reason, and it's like you get all these side effects, like I guess good side effects though, not like the
Yeah,
medicine side
it's
effects.
a good byproduct of what you're doing. You know what I mean? It's like a bonus that you set out to maybe lose a few pounds, get a little bit healthier, and then before you know it, you're losing all of these childhood things that like plagued your system.
Mm-hmm.
And it's so funny because not eating pizza, and I always go back to this, not eating pizza had that same effect on me. Like I would get hay fever and stuff like that. And living in here with a cat, you got to keep up with, you got to keep, dusting and making sure that you're wiping up so that when she wants to leave hair deposits and things, that the cat dander doesn't build up, because then it'll be hard to breathe in here. You know what I mean? So I noticed that when I went plant based, I didn't experience the allergy symptoms as
Mm-hmm.
much as I was experiencing before. So I agree with you. I went through it myself. And then on top of that, I was taking the kratom with you that, and I drink
And
moringa every
moringa.
day. Yeah, I drink moringa every day. So that got rid of it. But now that I've stopped eating the pizza, I can go a day or two and not even have any of that, not drink the moringa or whatever, and still won't start sniffling and sneezing.
That's the
I
thing
don't go
too.
without it, but
You
I could.
When's the last time we've even had a cold or been sick in any
It's
way?
been over 5 years since we've had colds, Jen. That's freaky.
Let's
Every year I used to at least get the flu once.
I mean, we could do a stream, like literally we could have made every Monday on
Call
one
it I
of
don't get
these
sick
things.
anymore.
Yeah, like
you
we could
know?
definitely, let's do that because I think it's
Or
important
do we
for
want to
people to
focus on
know.
that? How I stay well. How about that?
That makes more sense. I like keeping it, I
Yeah, don't
almost want
focus
to
on
call
sick.
it, I don't like saying Meatless Monday, but it's kind of cool and catchy because it's like MM, and I think people, gravitate towards that. But the more I thought about it, I really don't like that. I'd rather call it Vegetable Monday or something, or Fruit Monday, or, you know, everything you can eat on a Monday, but that's going to be weird. She already tells me sometimes I have to have her come up with these the intro, or what is it called, the titles, because I'm so wordy. I want to tell everybody the whole story in the title, like here are six things that it's like, well, make them click on the video at least.
right.
I'll tell them everything in the description because I'm technically, like, I'm a writer more than this is really uncomfortable kind of for me to be on camera. I used to put my logo up, but Dawn's convinced me to show my face a little bit.
You're beautiful. Show
um
your face.
Thank you. Not, I think the producer is better looking, but we'll argue over that later. Um, I think our guests are the greatest looking ones, right?
Yes.
All of you listening, next time you have a big health story, or next time, but if you have a really cool health change that's happened to you, or spiritual change that's happened, and you want to come on and be a guest, we're definitely interested. We, I think, are going to have a guest next Monday. I'm still confirming that. And then in June, we're going to have a really cool vegan chef on. So I don't know the
Sweet.
exact date. He's
Woo!
confirmed he will be here in June. His name is Jason, and hopefully we'll have that, because how cool is that? Someone that teaches people how to cook. Like, that's important, because that's what a lot of people don't want to eat boring like me. I'm just going to call it what it is. We eat cool stuff. Like, Dawn can make really neat stuff. She makes these really good lentil tacos, and um burgers and stuff. We're going to try to make bean burgers, but like, we stopped eating all the processed food that we kind of got into for a little while. Like, I started saying, I'm going to try this for the Veganowledge group, and ended up getting addicted to these fake meats for a little while because it reminded me of the way I used to eat, and like all those kind of emotions came back, like, oh my gosh, mayonnaise, Hellman's vegan mayonnaise, it's so good. I got to have a tomato sandwich with it. And then, like, oh wait, Gardein makes chicken sandwiches. It tasted just like, I used to remember, even though, because we always say we didn't necessarily give up meat because you don't like the taste. I continued to stay off meat because I saw what kind of animal suffering there was, and I wanted to stay healthy, So it's like, there you can evolve for different reasons. And then, like, coming back to whole food plant-based, that, like, where I started with mostly raw, my body immediately felt better. Even though being vegan and not eating meat is still better for you than eating meat, because you're not getting like the cholesterol, animal fat, and the dairy, all the things that could happen to you allergy wise. But a lot of the processed food I don't recommend anymore. I mean, you can try it, you can have it when you have guests over, because it's good to show people you can have comfort foods. But the best thing you can do is clear all that out, because when you start eating whole food and vegetables, your body, like, starts to crave fruit, and it's like excited about beans and whole, like, rice and just some seasonings on them, and like, you get excited about what you're eating rather than thinking, oh, I'm taking out meat, you know. Hey, welcome, Tiffany. Tiffany Peterson. She said
Hey,
yes.
Tiffany, how are you?
And thank you for liking, following Instagram and the Veganowledge group and commenting on the videos and subscribing. It really helps everything, and we do appreciate it, to help get this message out. Tiffany said, "Yes, I love cook with me videos and videos showing how to make healthy foods, vegan, of course." Yes, it's so nice when you see, like, we've watched a bunch of Tabitha videos, and Dawn has taken that and ran with it. Like, she made the chickpea tuna salad that she makes, and I mean, some of these things that she puts together with whole foods are really like, I'm like, I try, but I couldn't have came up with that. I still want to try this lentil stuffed peppers. And I keep saying that,
Yeah,
even
we'll
though I
do
don't
that.
really like peppers, that's the only thing that's holding me up. I was like, I need to come. I can put that out for others. So I was thinking, if we take the lentils and season them up the way that we would season, meat and stuffed peppers, with like what is that called? That Montreal seasoning and some,
Montreal, yeah, I think
maybe
so.
even some vegetable broth to kind of add some juice in it, and salt, pepper. I don't like using a ton of salt, and I'm not completely salt free, I will admit. Right, I go through periods where I am, but like, I do put a little bit of salt and pepper, but I don't eat salt all day. I don't eat anything processed, so I try to justify myself with a little bit of iodine, but I don't think that's really
I'm
true that
gonna
I should be eating
attempt
it.
to go completely raw this week. I just ate a little bit of grapes. Now, the one thing about going completely raw is you have the tendency to graze, but I'm gonna try to I'm gonna try to keep it steady at eating after eating between 5 and like say 9,
Oops.
and then after 9 not eating at all,
Yeah.
from 9 to 5 in the evening, do a 20 I'm doing a 20-hour fast or however long that is. And then from 5 to 9 will be my eating window.
I have a video too. I noticed you've been doing celery juice. You've been talking about lately, and I've kind of gotten out of the habit of it. I did it for a while, and I don't know why. You know how sometimes it just became like so much. I was doing it on my lunch and working out, and then like
Yeah.
it just kind of, I just kind of stopped. But I really want to get back into it. Maybe I'll have that and fruit during the day, or maybe have that with dinner, because it really did give me a boost of energy in the middle of the day.
Hmm.
Um, so,
It
Buddha
helps with
said, "Welcome,
circulation.
Tiffany. We are in the Veganowledge family over here."
So it helps with your circulation when you actually are like, you know what I mean? When you
Yes,
drink celery juice, it goes, and the better that it's juice, because it's almost like intravenous. It goes straight to the bloodstream when your body doesn't have that pulp to digest.
it really does, and that's what I was hearing. I asked, Dr. Furman was on the We Did It Health podcast, or our YouTube show, um, the other day, and he's like one of the most respected plant-based doctors. I think he wrote a book called Eat to Live, maybe. I might be getting that wrong, but we can link those in the description. But he was talking about, and I actually got to ask a question on the chat, and I said, I've heard different things. Is it better to juice your green vegetables because of the exterior, and just eat the fruits? Or, and he's like, basically whole foods. Done. You shouldn't have worked out before this live. I notice I'm boring you. She's heard my
Nah,
stories already.
nah.
Um,
I just worked out, so it like kind of wiped
I
me out a
knew.
little bit.
I
My
was like,
bad.
oh my goodness, you work it out so late. I'm like, you okay to come on the live stream? And she said, yeah. And those grapes were trying to perk you up. I could see. I was like, uh-oh. I was like, don't drift on me.
Sorry about
Um, no, it's okay. I was like,
that.
I know your faces. And I was like, uh-oh, that was a hard
I
workout.
could have played it off though.
I know, but
I'm
I
actually
got
sitting
this.
here playing with my cord the entire time, so I wasn't sleeping. But
Oh, I know. I didn't
yeah,
think you were sleeping. I just could
yeah.
see, like, I was just looking at you, and I was so thankful that you took the time to come on, because I know you didn't feel like it.
No, I'm
Um,
good. I'm
but I was
good.
like, I can't do it without the co-host. So anyway, I asked. speaking of the celery, and he said if he's trying to heal someone because he has a retreat, like say they're trying to reverse their heart disease, and or they've not been vegan and they just are deciding to go plant-based, and he's trying to clear them out of everything else, he puts them on juices along with whole foods, because the juices actually, like you said, you literally, you want to, he said it's very important to chew the food because that's part of the health benefits you get too, like the fiber and stuff, and you want to chew it. But we don't chew our food as long as we should. I mean, I know by the time, if I'm fasting during the day, I probably don't either. I'm like scarfing it. But he said that to get it right to their bloodstream, to get the most health benefits, he does, if you're trying to, if you're just becoming plant based or you're trying to heal something, like you're trying to reverse, your arteries are clogged, or you're trying to reverse type 2 diabetes and you just want to like clear yourself out, juices are the best way to really go. So that's interesting because I'm like, I've always heard both sides of the story. And the thing is, I think just keep it a mix of both. I think I've found for me, I was thinking I want to go all fruit, and I've read
Yeah.
studies on that, and I want to go all, some people say, well, you should have more fruits and vegetables. The real thing is, you want to have, like, in my opinion, from all the research, just have like whole foods, plant based, and for me mostly raw makes sense because like raw foods actually have the most nutrients, because when I cook stuff I tend to cook it pretty good. I don't like to, sometimes just have it, I guess I don't know the right temperature. Like I think over 118 is actually where it starts to break down the nutrients. So I think having it at that particular, like al dente, some people have it, that's okay too. But like
Mhm.
when I cook stuff, that's why I eat a lot of raw foods and do some juicing and eat a lot of fruits, because fruits are really easy to digest on my system. And I just overall, I think, feel better the more fruits I've eaten. So I've kind of went to a lot of fruit, a lot of raw, and a little bit of cooked, because I'm like, sometimes I just want that substance, that carb that I
Right.
like, and I can't sometimes fill up as much as I should on like the healthy nuts, seeds, avocados, and things like that. Um, and I do, I have enjoyed having that well-rounded, and there are periods of time I might like go all raw with you, because I do feel even better. Like if you do juices and raw, you do have a higher like frequency. It feels like it just
Mhm.
does. But I'm just on a kick right now where I need my beans and rice, and beans
Yeah,
are
it
healthy.
definitely kicks in with the energy.
Hmm. So we were on, so lost weight, allergies. We were talking
Mhm.
about even you feel less mucus from that. And then the third benefit is going to be I eliminated back pain. So, like, I had this chronic back pain, and you can talk about this too, because you watched me go through it, and I'd be like, oh my goodness, I've got these. It just would feel like something was in my back, literally like squeezing.
Right. I would have to give her back rubs all the time because she would
Just,
be
I would be like, can you
just like she would have knots in her back, you know?
just pull that, skin off,
Yeah.
because it felt like it was constricting on my back, like. And then
Mhm.
there was like I'd get on the exercise bike in the morning, not necessarily really to work out, but to just stretch it out. It just always felt like tight. And then like
Right.
after, I think it was
Dude, you
6.
would ride for like 4 hours and then half an hour later your back would be tight again. It's like, damn.
And
Like,
never
what do you got to stay on
never
that
ended
thing?
up losing weight because of it either. I stayed the same weight. So that shows me it was literally what I was eating, because I was
Yeah.
in a workout suit. Tiffany said, I have goat and sheep companions. They chew a long time. Maybe we need to copy how long goats and sheep and cows chew. Yes. She put the laughing face. Exactly. That's what you meant by grazing, because we do kind of
Yeah.
feel like that, right? Like I'm just walking around
Just
chewing
like constantly munching.
lettuce, right? I think they've got it right, because look at a horse, how big it is, and like elephants and stuff. Like they're literally eating like a plant-based diet. So when people say like athletes shouldn't have that or you won't be healthy, I mean, look at these animals.
Even
Like,
they know that dead flesh is bad for you.
You're right. It's like our bodies were designed a certain way. Now there are animals that were designed to be carnivores, and you can tell by their short digestive tract. And
And
like
their
I don't
teeth.
know, I'm never walking down the side of the road even when I was eating meat and see like a possum on the side of the road, or what do you call it, like a dead animal. I mean, for lack of a better term, I don't want to like talk about that. It kind of grosses me out.
Like
But if you see
lions
a
are
rabbit,
meant to shred meat. Look at their teeth. They're like knives.
exactly. And people say,
Yeah.
"Oh, we have these canines." I mean, that's not that's to bite into some fruit. That is
That's a
not
bite into a nice Granny Smith apple.
exactly. And it really makes a difference too. I'm going to talk about this. I didn't want to say like that's one of my benefits because it's kind of gross, but there's another thing I'll talk about when we talk about digestion at the very end here is a really surprising benefit. Um, Buddha said, don't forget to hit the like button, comment, and subscribe to become a member of
Woo! Best moderator
the
on
Thank you,
YouTube.
Buddha. Thank you,
Thank
everybody.
you,
I'm so
Buddha.
excited. We finally hit 100 subscribers last week, and I'm like, woohoo, almost 110. Buddha is like trying to get us to 15,000 now. And I feel like we're going to be sitting here one day
How
and be
many do
like,
you have now?
103. We're getting there.
Yeah,
It's a process, and the more
that's it.
people that comment and come on, I mean, if we can touch somebody with this message and they at least start to get curious and look into it, that's all we can do. Maybe we'll put the link to the Facebook group, because if you're dealing with anything and you just happen to find this crazy video, or maybe you're thinking, I shouldn't go plant based. What are these surprising benefits or
Hmm.
things that happen to her? If you're looking for something that's bad, sometimes people will click on a video trying to see, oh, what happened? You know,
Right.
so maybe they'll come on and then realize, wait, what? People are reversing their diabetes and their heart disease with this? And that's the whole thing about it, is just helping animals, helping world hunger, and helping your health, and like being there for your family, feeding your kids the right thing,
Yeah.
like when you don't know something, you don't know it. Like we were all told we needed meat, and we still are told we need dairy at some point. I think the recommendations, but they've changed meat to protein, so that means like beans now, but it's not widely put out there that this can happen, because like there's just a whole different world. That's a whole nother stream, but there's a lot of money involved, as my poem says, in keeping people sick. But number four, or no, number three was, all of a sudden after 30 days, I'm sitting there and I'm like, I used to come home and stretch out after work. Like I'd lay flat on the bed and keep my elbows propped so that I would stretch that little part of my back. And one day I'm sitting there and I was like, wait a minute, it's not tight like it was. And do I even need to be laying here doing this weird stretch right now? And I
Right.
was like, I started going like this, because you know how when something hurts for so long and you are like, okay, it almost feels weird now that it's not hurting, because you're so
Yeah.
used to dealing with something, and you're like, I'm like trying to make it hurt. I'm like, what's going on? Is this just a fluke? And I literally never, and a lot of that probably had to do with starting to lose weight, but also, I realized that meat and dairy, because our body is rejecting it, it causes inflammation. Like
Yeah.
when your body gets something in it, whether it be a piece of dust or whatever, it automatically builds mucus up, because it's like, hey, this doesn't belong here. That's its way of flushing it out. And so when we eat something that our literal body is not designed to eat, because of a lot of reasons, you can look at different like herbivores compared to our digestion, and carnivores compared to us, and we are set up with the right stomach acids and everything to be herbivores. So that's why when we don't eat that way, our body rejects it and we blame it on other stuff, like, oh, this is the pollen causing it, or I'm lactose intolerant. Yes, because it's funny, but we're not baby cows.
True.
So we don't want the sugar that's from a cow. That's supposed to be for a baby cow, and our mother's milk is for us. It's just a whole thing. So anyway,
Although
I
my mom
really
used to call me a cow all the time.
were you grazing? Yeah, look at how cows like always chew like that. Like you're right, Tiffany. We need to take a lesson. And we won't need juicers if we could chew that long. Um And then, okay, so that was it. That's back pain. If you're dealing with any kind of, I've heard people reverse arthritis, they reverse um, lots of joint pain, all kinds of stuff I've heard people have just gotten rid of. I mean, there's a lady, the minister of wellness, who we had on here a couple of weeks ago. He actually has a lady that comes on his live stream. You should check out his channel too. He does Motivational Monday in the morning and the evening. So you can check out his channel if you want to pop in on both. I know you can do his in the morning and then you could come here at night. I don't want to turn you away from us, but I do support him because he's doing a lot of good things with his health coaching. And he has a lady on there who was in pain for 50 years and went on his fruit detox, like kind of that he helps people clear out and clear their ailments. And she literally, within a couple of weeks, stopped, was able to get out of bed where she wasn't even able to get around properly. And she can walk around now. She feels all
That's
this energy.
amazing.
Her daughter, I think, or her son, one of the two, is seeing that, and they have a lot of stuff going on health wise. So they've joined in with her because
Yeah, she may have passed it on.
if we have these health benefits, I feel like, and I tell people, even the small things that have happened to me, it's not like I've even reversed a big chronic disease, but if you deal with a lot of allergies or you have a lot of pain, like why not at least try it? You know what I mean? Because all a bonus, you're still gonna, and you might be doing it, you might have came in for a different reason. Like I came in because of health reasons, and then
Right, and end
eventually
up finding out something else.
that animals were being, that making this connection that animals were involved, and that's why I never would be able to go back to eating meat, even on it's cheat day. If we're cheating, we have some French fries,
Or
not
Beyond Burger, not a real like meat burger.
exactly. I did get off the Whole Foods this past weekend because
I didn't. I actually ate like Beyond Burgers galore. I had a taste for it. I had a taste for some vegan junk food, so I kind of went against my raw this weekend and ate a couple of Beyond Burgers and some French fries.
I had a soft
It's
pretzel,
so
and I
good.
was joking
And
with
I
the
had one of those too.
Marakita. I was joking with her on the thing and said, "Okay, well, I ate whole food. I mean, I ate a whole pretzel. That's still a whole food, but technically, I don't. I mean, I had been months where I didn't eat anything processed, not even ketchup. So I just kind
Yep.
of had a little fun this weekend and had my pretzel and mustard. But it's like, oh, big deal, right, Jen? But when you feel like you crave those whole foods, it's kind of weird when you eat something else that
Yeah.
like has ingredients that you don't like. That was my thing. I didn't want to eat anything that had ingredients I didn't know about. So I did verify with the little spot that they did not use dairy in it. But
Cool.
um, so it was good though. It's good to treat yourself. It's good to get out in the air, the vitamin D, and then we'll do a stream about B12. You're going to need that too because we don't eat dirty vegetables anymore. So
B12 in the house.
number 4, did we go to 4 yet?
I don't think so.
Let's see. So it was the
Let's see. Was
choose
that
back
for?
pain.
It was
Oh,
weight
4.
loss, back pain, no allergies.
Yes, I think we are on 4. And 4 was the unbelievable amount of energy I would have. Like even right now, if I can work 12 hours and then come on to do Meatless Monday, and I'm like, yes, let's do it. And so I have to kind of calm myself down at night. And then once I eat, I do kind of get really tired. But that's the thing. It's just you have so much energy, so much clarity, so much focus, and you actually feel in a weird way like you have energy but you feel calm. Like things don't really, at least for me, they didn't make me angry as quick or short temper. Like if you're in traffic and something happens where you get like a little like, oh come on, somebody cuts you off. It's like for me, I feel a sense of calm and like more compassionate too for like everything, because you start to make the connection like, why do we kill these animals and why do we love these animals? It doesn't make sense. You start to look at every little living thing
Yeah,
as a living life, and I think it just makes you more compassionate to humans too.
I think it
And
does too. I think it's a good point.
and you want to like help people and you want to get the word out. And for me it just became like, this feels like what I'm supposed to do with my life, is tell people this, because I want to see them heal and I want to see them feel the benefits, and I want to help animals. And then there's a whole environmental reason which we can get into later too. But anyway, that's it. I just feel a lot of
It's
energy.
like it's good for the planet too, because this is our home. This is where we live. So if we don't cut down on the emissions, then God help us in the next 10 years. What are we going to be breathing in? You
Hmm.
know what I mean? So being a vegan helps to offset a lot of that and push, leaving the forests intact and stop cutting them down and creating grazing paths and plots of land for animals to graze. They're cutting down the Amazon rainforest. We need the Amazon rainforest. That helps us keep the Earth's air clean on a big scale. The Amazon rainforest takes care of a lot of breathing area for the Earth. And when they're chopping it down and cutting it down because they're trying to make way for animal agriculture, that's BS for a couple of reasons. One is, well, you're killing off humanity faster because we're not supposed to be eating meat. Which I know there needs to be a circle of life, and new people, we need to leave and let new people come in. That's fine, but let me go when I'm ready to go. And let me go out living my best life. Let me go out having a high quality of life because I'm putting the right stuff in my body. Don't feed me stuff that's going to make me, not be able to walk in 6 months because I'm getting gout or whatever. You know what I mean? Because I'm eating food that I shouldn't be eating. So it's huge. It's absolutely huge
And the shame
to,
of it is, no, it doesn't, they don't tell you the connection of how the environment connects with eating meat. But like you said, the greenhouse gases, that's like the leading cause is,
they're cutting down
animal
trees, and trees
agriculture.
clean the air, and that's
And
one of the
that's
main
another
reasons
thing.
we're dealing with the that's why we're dealing with the global warming.
It's not necessary. I mean, all of that plays a part in it. But if you're going to, not use plastic straws, or you're worried about, recycling and things, the most important thing you can do if you're an environmentalist is really stop eating meat. And there's a lot of research on that.
And get a
But
Tesla.
it's not like confirm, it's not like those two things don't always go together. When you find a lot of people that, I'm on like a group that's all about green, and they don't necessarily make that connection. Everyone, there are some people there, but you would think everybody. And then world hunger, you started to
Yeah.
touch on that. If you think about it, we take, let's say we just, on a small scale, obviously it's billions, but we take 100 cows, and these 100 cows are going to feed, let's say, 200 people. But if you took the food that you feed those 100 cows to raise them, all the land that they take out, that could be growing vegetables, the food
Hmm.
that we feed to feed 200 people could feed like millions of people. Like, I'm exaggerating the numbers, but I've read these studies, and we'll have to link some of them, that literally, we are feeding all of the food that could be used for world hunger, and the land that we're feeding to these animals to feed like this many people, and
Right.
it like, it doesn't make sense. So that helps. And then that land could be used for different vegetables that, can keep us healthy. And there has to be alternatives. So that
Yeah.
definitely makes it, that's probably why you feel more compassionate. You start to open your eyes to all this stuff, like, wow, no
Hmm.
kidding. Like, so the last thing, or the second to the last thing, is, what was number 5? Oh my, I forgot my things.
Number
There's so many
five.
of them. I tried to like keep it condensed into one. Oh, I know what it was. My skin, like, I used to be a constant putting lotion on. Like, I had to always put lotion on my hands. My skin was always dry. I'd get like little flaky parts. And I've heard people, like, I didn't have like eczema or anything like that, but I've heard people have gotten completely rid of skin conditions. All these commercials they had, was it for these things that cause all these side effects, for these medicines that people are taking for, like, their asthma or their skin conditions. And it comes, in the end, it's like you could just eliminate it with plant-based diet. And that's one of the things that I love about this. It's so simple, but I feel like people are suffering and living on medications that also then cause other side effects. But my skin feels healthier. If I don't barely ever have to use lotion, like even if I wash my hands with soap, sometimes maybe I have to put a little on just for habit. But like literally, my skin feels like healthier, and you can just tell that it's got a lot of
Nice
moisture in
healthy
it.
glow.
My hair feels better. It just everything seems to just overall be happy that this is what I'm doing to my for my body. Different things that people have, and there's just five things, and then the sixth thing is kind of like what I was talking about earlier. Literally, like there are periods of time if you go through where you'll have like heartburn, and things like that, or stomach issues. I have not had a stomach upset, a stomach issue, a heartburn, haven't had to eat like Tums or any of the what is that, Rolaids or anything.
Right.
And because I realize, and then the other thing is going to the bathroom. Like it is consistent. If you deal with like constipation, you're going to go to the bathroom every day and well if you eat this way. And then you won't smell. I know that sounds funny, but like I literally can forget to put deodorant on, and like the whole day goes by. It can be hot, it can be
Because it's not
summertime,
smacking you in your face, you know?
and it's like your body literally clears out of everything, and the vegetables and fruits come in your body and they don't have that. It's like the dead flesh. It's the dairy, I hate to say it like that, is what's causing a lot of the stuff we deal with, and the smells that are coming out of us. So I'm like, first of just the whole digestion, because your body, it's like everything's flowing through and working like it's supposed to. It's like you've now stopped using diesel gas in a gasoline engine, and you're
Right.
finally putting the right gas in, and your car is like running better. It's like your body is going to run better. Stuff that you thought you had to deal with forever is going to start healing. So I would say I'm on a page that talks about like how you can help reverse disease and things. And literally, you could take every condition there is, and you can find someone who's healed from it based on a plant-based diet. And I know because I've pretty much looked everything up, like any stomach issue, any skin issue, asthma,
Hmm.
um, anything that has to do with cholesterol, lowering cholesterol, type 2 diabetes. If you're on medication, I do have to say this, I'm not a doctor, and I do not recommend not telling your doctor, because you will start to heal things naturally, and the doctor
Yeah.
will have to lower your medication. So it's very dangerous to not tell the doctor that you're doing this, and get checked more often with a test, because as your blood pressure starts to come down naturally, those medications aren't needed. So if they're lowering your blood pressure and you're reversing your blood pressure issue, they're going to
They
have to
need to
start coming
lower the
off the
dosage,
same with
if not
diabetes
eliminate
and
it
sugar,
altogether.
insulin. So always talk to your doctor, because we are not doctors. I do have to disclose that because I don't want anyone to have any issues. But if you are just at the stage where you want to make a change, and you are overweight, and you're just tired of being tired, and you're tired of like these ailments, these pains and aches and arthritis, whatever you're dealing with, in your life, like literally, this could be one of the healthiest decisions you make, and just do it. Like, what's the thing that, you could say, oh, that crazy lady, she's not right about any of this. But if you're dealing with stuff and you're suffering, why not try it? And then you can come tell us how great it was, because and there's a lot of things out there now on YouTube. There's our YouTube channel. We've got videos. There's a lot of, if you just search vegan or plant based, come on Facebook. There's a lot of groups, which my Facebook groups helped me so much, because it was like minded people, and I could get advice from them and say, what did you eat? Or, what do you replace this with? Or what do is it okay to eat this way? Because really, in the beginning, people make you think it's unhealthy. They're
Right.
like, oh, I don't know, where are you going to get your protein? And you realize that beans, rice, and every vegetable have protein, and nobody's protein deficient. So you don't need to be eating meat. The only thing you do need to supplement, if you're new to this diet, is B12. And you can also get it from sea vegetables, but you'd have to eat quite a lot of it. And your body's going to have a storage of it if you have just went plant-based. So if you've been plant-based a year, you may not start feeling effects of it, but it is really important because B12 is a bacteria that we are supposed to get from streams and from the soil. And now that vegetables are cleaned thoroughly before they're sold to us, and because they use pesticides, so then they end up washing them, and we don't drink water directly from a stream anymore. At least I don't. We tend to drink bottled water or purified water. We're taking the B12 out of it because we also have to get rid of all the other stuff, the mercury or whatever is in the water that we don't want, all the pesticides and all the pollution. So they clean
Right.
the water. So that's why we have to supplement B12. It's not. It doesn't get produced by an animal. The animal is eating the dirty ground, basically the dirty vegetables, and then they're getting it. And then sometimes it's even fortified with it. So the cool thing is, if you are looking to do this, definitely come to us for help. There's a lot of really cool things. If you're a vegan and you are wanting to do something like this, like a podcast or a YouTube show or a Facebook page, and you're not sure where to go, Mariquita Solis is a vegan empowerment coach. She can help you if you want to discover, maybe you're feeling like, everybody's against you, or you feel like you don't know where to go to help people and you're not doing enough. She definitely can do coaching with you. So she's one of our big fans here, that we're also a really big fan of her page. And I want to thank everybody for being here in your journey. Thank our new member of the Veganowledge crew, Tiffany Peterson. Thank you so much for joining and
Woo!
for your
Welcome,
comments.
Tiffany.
Thank our excellent moderator, Buddha 1000. I want to thank you for everything you do for us, for both our channels. And if you're here tomorrow, if you're on YouTube and you like reality TV, go to J&J Video Reacts. She's got, and not only reality TV, she reacts to different things, but we do a live stream tomorrow. She does Takeover Tuesday or Tuesday Takeover. I get it mixed up every week. And in fact, that's where Buddha came from. I was there being her co-host, and I met Buddha, so she came over and became a moderator and supported our channel. So it's really cool. I feel like I'm missing some people that I want to like shout out in the Veganology group and all my previous guests on here, and just thank everybody for listening. KT, Janetta, who's here a lot. Angela, I want to thank you for Angela Freschetti, who was on here and did a workout for us. I probably said her
That
name
was
wrong,
fun.
didn't I?
No,
Um,
I think it is Freschetti.
okay, cool. And then so Buddha said, let's get vegan to 15,000 subscribers this year. That'd be great. Let's do it. Let's do it. We're going to do this. I know it. And then we're going to sit here and say, look, we built it a little bit at a time. I
A
remember when I
little
was
bit at a
excited at
time.
100.
I
So
was at 100. It just organically, it will happen a little bit at a time.
well,
Just can't
thank
lose sight of the goal and give up.
exactly. That's it. And don't get discouraged, because we're at least telling 100 people, if they click on this, or however many people online click it. If I reach one person, like each time we have somebody new, and I know Tiffany joined us and she has a lot of good information on her page too, and shares a lot of stuff. Like, we're all reaching people. If she shares the information and everybody here shares it, we are going to eventually reach a lot of people. Even if we only reach one
Through
person,
happenstance, it's just automatically going to happen.
if we can change someone's life and help animals and help the environment,
We'll tell two
that's all we
people,
want to
and then they'll tell two people, and
do.
then they'll
Right,
tell
remember
them,
that?
and so on, and so on,
One
and so
and so
on.
on. Well, I really am thankful for you being the producer of this stream, and all I have to do is click and get in, and you bring us on, so I don't have to do a whole lot of that stuff, and I
My
appreciate
pleasure,
it.
baby. My
And
pleasure.
I'm thankful for you having little um, intros and outros and all that good stuff for us. So, and I'm going to let you get to your dinner. And thank you for being here. Thank everyone. I'm going to go cook some food and raw some food. Is that what it's called? But thank you guys for joining. Thank you, everyone. And have a great evening.
Awesome. Thanks, Buddha. Thanks everybody that was here. Tiffany, love you guys. I will see you guys mañana when we do the Tuesday takeover. Cannot wait to talk about the tell all.
I know.
It's gonna be juicy.
If we can become a plant-based nation, we could get off all our medication. We want to keep doing things like we were, donating to organizations claiming to fight for a cure. But the cure is already in front of our eyes, and it's time for us to wake up and realize. We may not want to believe we have control. It's easier for most of us to metaphorically live in a hole. So many stories of how being plant-based has reversed disease. It's funny that we can't stop eating meat with ease. We want to continue to look for the answer, yet people have reversed even cancer. I think finally as a nation, it's time to give people the truthful information. Your hard-earned money is what you pay to take your medicine day after day. Sadly, there's a lot of money being made in people staying sick. This has to finally make something click. We have to have this revelation that a cure means not selling medication. There's so many myths and misconceptions, but it's eye-opening once you make the connections. That meat and dairy are causing insulin resistance, it's not sugar and carbs causing diabetes, for instance. Scientifically, our bodies are not set up like carnivores. We model those who eat plants. If you can heal, why not give it a chance? You follow your car's owner's manual for what gas it takes, yet for our bodies without care, we feed it steaks. That's like giving an unleaded car diesel to drink. Our bodies will reject it, don't you think? I'm not here to tell you what to do, but to be a voice, that when it comes to your health, you have the choice. With just a few adjustments to your diet, I can help if you just want to try it. I've found testimonials that people have reversed every ailment and disease by simply eliminating meat, eggs, milk, and cheese. There's a tasty substitute for all the things you already eat. You can get all your nutrients without eating meat. Save the animals, the environment, and yourself just by making a few different selections off the grocery store shelf. It's never too late. I've seen it work at all age ranges. It's my passion, and I can't wait to hear about your positive health changes. It's time for the world to wake up and heal, and you can start with your very next meal.